Welcome, everybody. This is Life on Shuffle, December 8th, 2024, Sunday. Warmer day today. The sun was out this morning, got a little warmer. I think it's anticipation of some rain that's coming in. We only got about 17 days till Christmas, so hopefully everybody's getting their Christmas shopping done. 502-709-8778. You can text us in on the text line. You can have a conversation with us if you'd like. You can find us on Facebook at Life on Shuffle. We have a TikTok at Life on Shuffle Pod. We have an Instagram account at Life on Shuffle Pod. We have a website, lifeonshuffle.org, and all the good things that come with all that. We are having a quick, well, not a quick, but a special kind of edition tonight. It's an all-boys crew. Jaden's in the house. How are you?
I'm doing all right. How are you doing?
Good. And then on the phone, as you can hear him breathing in there, is Zach Douglas. He's back on with us. How are you?
What's up, man?
How are, so, yeah, I guess today's what do y'all want to talk about? You just want to talk about Christmas or something fun like that?
I don't know. Is there something we should be talking about there, Jay? Is there something that's making your heart a little heavy today, Jay?
I don't know that my heart is heavy. So the University of Kentucky basketball team goes out to Seattle, Washington, plays in the Battle of Seattle. Is that Battle of Seattle?
Something like
Battle
that.
for Seattle.
Whichever. And they play a Gonzaga team ranked 7th in the country. I had them down losing at least by 20, and they end up winning the game. And so Zach's ready to give us hell for it, I assume, right? Is that what you want to talk about?
I am just ready for you to admit that you finally have some hope and hope, because I am so sick of this hater Jay version that we're getting on this podcast. We need the loving Kentucky loving Jay that we all know and love, and you need to start getting behind Mark Pope.
Before we got started here on the podcast and we started recording, Jaden said he had Gonzaga losing by how much?
By 50. I had Gonzaga winning by 50.
He had Gonzaga winning by 50, which that's insanity. But it just goes to the speak of like the low confidence that we have in this particular basketball team. And I was really I was wrong. Okay, I thought we would kind of get beat down by Gonzaga. The team didn't quit. But I will tell you that I was still concerned being down what? What were we down at halftime, Zach? 25?
16.
No, we were down 8. We were down 16. We were really down. We were like down 18. Then we came back to pull within 16 at half.
So you're still down 16. You've got to fight your way back. You don't have a point guard. If you'll remember in the Duke game, we got down double digits to them, had to come back. You got down to Gonzaga, double digits, had to come back. And
yep.
I mean, at some point, that's going to catch up with you. You can't keep getting down like that. So while my hope is starting to grow in Pope, and like I said a couple podcasts later, I want him. I want him to succeed. Sorry, I've been having some nasally stuff. I want him to succeed, and I want it to be good, and I want him to be good. I think the guy's smart as a tack. I just don't know if he was ready for this moment. But again, getting down 16. That's going to catch up to you in the SEC, is it not? I mean, Missouri goes. Missouri beat the snot out of Kansas today.
Yeah, the SEC is going to be. This is the closest thing that SEC basketball has had to SEC football in probably our lifetime, where the SEC is just going to start beating the hell out of each other. And you're going to be, and you're right that it's going to. There's going to be some losses, but I think we've seen that under Mark Pope, unlike what we had in the other administration under Calipari, is that he's using analytics and making those adjustments. I think this is the first time that we've come back. That's the largest deficit that we've had on a neutral site and came back to win.
Yeah, I did see that.
Before that. And then it's also the first time we've been down by 10 against a team and come back to win under those circumstances since the Calipari's second year here. So I think he's using analytics and getting it done. And you can't and one thing we're doing is, how many years did we go under Cal and we did not have we never seen the zone? Or he would always say, "Oh, I got some kind of adjustment," or he would use some
tweak.
kind of word.
He'd use the word tweak.
A tweak, yeah. He would always say, "I got a tweak" or something like that to go on, and then that was just basically just playing to the fans and the ones that were dumb enough to fall for that crap. But Pope's using the analytics. He's coming in, putting in a zone. We were down. Not only were we down 1 point guard, we ended up losing our second point guard in Kirk Risa during the game. He's probably going to be out at least until the SEC tournament, is what they're saying. with a foot issue or maybe Achilles, so there might be a medical red shirt there in his future. But we've never seen nothing like this as far as and since modern basketball.
Yeah, and I don't disagree with that. Kirk Carissa has what they call a Jones fracture, and the Jones fracture is on the outside pinky toe between the bone and the ankle, or the toe and the ankle, the metatarsal. It's a surgery he'll have to have in the next couple of days, and then it's a 3 to 6 week recovery, which he probably, like you said, won't get back to basketball speed until the SEC tournament, I would say.
Right.
So that's definitely a hit, but I think we got to feel good. And Jaden, you can. Did you watch a game?
I did.
You did watch a game. I think we feel pretty good that when Carissa went down and no Lamont Butler, Jackson Robinson, I mean, he became the guy, right?
Right.
I mean, he became the guy that you need a bucket, you go. Andrew Carr, for some reason in big games, he decides to be good. You know,
right.
In the other games, he's like, you know what, I just won't participate. So I don't know if he's just one for the limelight or whatever. But I'll eat the crow. All right, they did it. They went out. They won. I'll take it. It's fine. Taco Bell's still terrible, but
it is not right. And we are so glad that you're finally going to be on board with Coach Pope at Kentucky. And the next step is you're finally going to come to the light and love Taco Bell.
No,
just as you do.
I'll never love Taco Bell. There's nothing good with Taco Bell. It's bad meat. I'm hoping RFK gets in there and changes all that. We get our real meat back in the fast food restaurants. But that's probably.
He's talking about going back to corn. He's already said he's going to get rid of the high fructose corn syrup and Coca-Cola and maybe switch it back to cane sugar. So
Perfect.
That's good.
That gets us on a good start. So Kentucky goes out, beats Gonzaga by 1. I'm still concerned about us getting down early. I think in the SEC it's going to be bad, because it's going to be all-out wars every night. You got to go to Tennessee. Do we go to Auburn?
I'm not sure.
I can't remember I don't know if we go to Auburn or not. I mean, that place would be ruckus. It always is. But again, I'll eat the crow. It's fine, Zach. You were right. I was wrong. I'm not afraid to admit it to the world that's listening to this. I have a small start of glimmer of hope in Pope. I don't like us getting down like that. I feel like our guys play too scared in the first half, and then we make all these big half adjustments. It's like we're waiting too long to make the adjustments.
We are at Rep with Auburn.
Rep.
Yeah, at Rep, yeah.
Yeah, we're waiting too long to make them. I mean, we can't wait till halftime and be like, oh, we got all this data. We need to get the data a little sooner, I would think.
Well, yeah, but when it comes to the SEC tournament, or not tournament, but when we do get into SEC play, there's going to be analytics there too, or prior to coming in. Granted, this is the first. We're young. This is still a young season, as far as the number of games we have in. So everybody that uses analytics in the current modern day game is still building analytics on all these teams. So he's going to have more data coming in to maybe get a better start. But
yeah, no doubt about it.
Hopefully we get Lamar Butler, and Lamar Butler will be back here soon, and then we can take care of business when it comes to the SEC. We got Colgate, and then we got to go down and deal with them Dirty Birds or the Dirty Birds come to us.
Yeah, they come to Rupp. That's what's going to be my next thing. How's next Saturday going to look in Rupp?
Well, judging by Twitter, I just seen it's X now, but it's 2 old ladies fighting in a wheelchair, and it says Kayshawn Pryor and Kirk Carissa this Saturday.
Oh,
fighting in wheelchairs.
In wheelchairs, yeah, because they're both hurt. That's kind of cool.
That would be funny.
That's pretty funny.
Duke just handed Louisville a 11-point loss at home.
Now you notice that Louisville was up on them by 14 at one point.
Right.
They were up on them. Yeah, so I guess they came back on that. Which is, kind of good because, again, I don't think Louisville's that good. But, yeah, we lose Kirk Carissa to the injury. Do you think Kentucky goes and tries to find a mid-year kid that – can you even do that?
No idea.
Can you add a kid mid-year?
No, not in basketball, and it's not like football.
So they can't do that?
You can, but I mean, I think you got enough depth there. You got the one kid that I was kind of disappointed in was the Chandler kid from BYU. I was kind of disappointed in the way he played, but he did have to take that 2 years off for his Mormon mission, so he's still trying to get back into college basketball shape. But you do have Travis Perry and Trent Noah sitting at the end of the bench too, and there's nothing putting it past them to come in if we really have to.
Yeah, I'd like to see them get a little bit more run against Brown and Colgate here. You probably won't get as much against Louisville because it depends on how close that game is. But if you can get some distance, let them get run now that Crease is out before we get into SEC. Because, I mean, there's going to be a time when Lamont Butler's going to go down with fouls. Robinson could get into foul trouble. You're going to have one of those kids. And I think Colin Chandler's scared to death right now. I mean, that kid, I don't think he has seen a level of basketball like what he's seen with us.
I think it is way faster than he initially thought, but
sure.
I think he'll be all right. He's not going to be a one and done. That's the beautiful thing about all this is that now we're done with one and dones for the most part. We're going to get some kids that are going to come one and done, but we're going to get a good chunk of them back year to year. So, but I think we're going to see a lot of Trent Noah and Travis Perry coming up, especially in the Colgate game, because I don't see them playing Lamont Butler in the Colgate game. To just rest that leg up or the ankle injury up for the Louisville game. And honestly, I wouldn't even be heartbroken to see if they set him past even setting for the Louisville game, as long as we can get Jackson Robinson still playing. But
right.
Louisville to me is not you don't live or die by that sword anymore like you used to, especially with the strength of the SEC coming up this year.
Yeah, but I still want to beat them. We got to.
Oh yeah, I love beating them.
I don't want to sit around listening to them. We got to keep stepping on that throat. So if Lamont Butler can play in Louisville, put him on the floor.
Yeah, but I'd much rather have him healthy for the SEC season than dealing with worrying about little brother down the road.
Yeah, well, that's your sports report for Kentucky. I ate my crow. It's fine there. Okay, I'm on the board with Pope a little bit. I think we'll win some games. I think we're going to do good. I think he's going to be good here long term. Hopefully, he can continue to recruit. Caleb Wilson needs to come to Kentucky. That'll help for next year.
Yep.
Who's going to win the national championship in football? That playoff was revealed today. And, of course, Indiana. The 1 year they have the first ever 12-team playoff, Indiana makes it, having not played one team except for one that was over 500, Ohio State, and lost by 50. Well, however much they lost by. But who's winning the national championship in football?
Well, I don't think it's definitely not Georgia. I think it's going to be, in my opinion, I think we're looking at Texas.
You think Texas will get through there?
Yeah, I think they're going to get through there and handle business.
So Texas has got Clemson to start, so they should beat them because Clemson's got to go to Texas, and then Clemson's got to play Arizona State, who's probably terrible. And then probably Oregon. Oregon looked pretty good in the Big Ten. Maybe, I don't know. But I think at the end of the day, it'll be Texas and Georgia for the national championship. I think that's where it's going to get to.
You think we'll get a
third game of that too?
Part 3?
Yep. I think we'll get a part 3 of that group right there.
And it's hard to team 3
Indiana's got to go to Notre Dame, which is kind of cool because that's 2 in-state teams.
Yeah, that's going to be it's a Friday night game.
Friday night, yep. That's going to be quite the atmosphere up there in Notre Dame.
I would love to see Notre Dame win that game and just stomp them, just to humble that
and just shut it up, bring it back to earth, right?
Yeah, I mean I don't know. There's just something about him. He's just not likable to me.
I don't know. And when he came on the ESPN today, like the team wasn't together. He's like, "No, we knew we were going to be here. I don't even know where the team's at." Da 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 da. And it's like, we have a team meeting. I'll know where they're at tomorrow. It's like, dude, this is the first ever 12-team college. And all these other teams put their teams together. It's like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Right. That's a little bit too arrogant. I got a feeling Notre Dame's probably going to just go ahead and kick them in the butt, send them back to Bloomington, and then that'll be done. Come back to earth. And kind of go from there. Do you think Kentucky football will ever make a 12-team playoff?
No.
Nah, not anytime soon.
Not even close? Well,
I think
Mark Stoops said don't panic.
Start using. Yeah, I think Mark Stoops just needs to go ahead and pack it in. I mean, I'm not to the level with Stoops as I was with Cal, and not even close to that because let's be realistic here. Whenever basketball season starts, football becomes a secondary sport anyway.
100%.
And football in Kentucky, football is just a pastime for basketball. So, and I think that whenever we start getting that SEC money coming in, and whenever Mark Stoops does move on, we're gonna see a pretty dramatic shift to a lot of that funding coming, especially like the NIL shifting to basketball only, and which I'm okay with. I'd rather win national titles on the basketball court than worry about a football because being from our conference, because I don't think we're ever unless we decide to back up and move conferences to like the A10 or whatever, the ACC or something like that, where we have a legitimate chance at winning the conference title. I mean, but we're not going to ever do that because of the SEC money coming in. So I can see Kentucky being like a Vanderbilt coming up in the next 5 years as far as basketball.
Well, It'll be interesting to see how all that college football playoff goes. What I wish they did was in the second round, like the Georgias and the Oregons of the world, that they got to host a playoff game too, and then the Final Four go on to play at a neutral site. Because I think, the first round games, like Texas gets to host one. Who else is in there? Penn State, I think, and Notre Dame. Those schools get to host that, but then they go to a neutral site when they play that second round game. And I think if you got the bye, you shouldn't have to travel. You stay at your house, and that team come to you, and then the last 4 teams travel to a neutral site, play a bowl game, and then the national championship. I think that's what they should do. I'm assuming they'll tweak some of that. So it'll be interesting to see how the college playoff thing goes. And I do think that, Kentucky football was relevant 2018, 19, 20, 21 when Kentucky basketball wasn't that good. Right? So even more of like if we were still good with the John Walls of the world, the Anthony Davis of the world, and the Karl Towns of the world, football still would have been like, yeah, it's over there. But, man, basketball on the hardwood, we were just still da-da-da-da-da. And I do think Pope coming in has really brought a really even like we'd played a 1-3-1 defense like that. I mean, we'd never do that. And it's like, I was like, wait, we're in a zone, and these kids even know how to play zone. I'm like, well, I guess they do because Pope's probably worked on it. So it's definitely really good. Again, I think Pope's smart. After watching that game last night, I'm bought in. I'm coming over the train. It's fine. Let's go. Get on a Pope train. We'll go.
Woo-woo!
And, yep. We'll get on the Pope train and all that fun stuff that we'll do there. Yesterday was National Slime Day. Does your kids like to play with slime?
Oh, yeah, they love it. But it's banned in our house after it ended up in hair and
that's
carpet
not good.
and everything else.
Nasty old slime. Slime's really nasty. Yesterday was National Illinois Day. That's a terrible state. Everybody agree?
Yeah.
Except for Springfield. Springfield's pretty cool.
Is that where the Simpsons are from?
Springfield's Lincoln, like where the Lincoln Museum and stuff is.
It's not good either. Nobody cares about that. Illinois got Illinois got their they're just what they are. I don't know. Illinois is a state that I don't know.
They got Chicago. Chicago's got some pretty good pizza, but that's about it.
Chicago does have some decent pizza.
I don't know, man. That Springfield, Illinois, that museum there, that's that Lincoln Museum. It's pretty cool.
I'm not sure people are going to Springfield to look at Lincoln.
I don't know.
What are you talking about?
I think you underestimate the history buffs around here. Jay.
Ain't that many history buffs care about Lincoln and Springfield, Illinois.
Now that we got you on board with Pope, now you're gonna say you're anti-Lincoln?
I'm not anti-Lincoln. I just don't think people are traveling to Illinois to go see Lincoln.
I think you'd be surprised how many people would travel around to go to these.
I think you'd be surprised at the number of people that don't know what number president he is.
But do you know what number? Jaden.
16.
Maddie just told you.
I knew.
Okay, I was making sure.
You think I need help from Maddie in history? Come on now.
Maddie in school, that's right.
You think I need help from Maddie in history?
Yesterday was National Cotton Candy Day. And then obviously it was Pearl Harbor Day, right? From December 7th, 1941, Pearl Harbor Day. Was yesterday. So, obviously, Zach's is a huge Civil War buff with Lincoln. And he likes to go to Springfield and look at the house he was born in or whatever it might be.
He wasn't born in there, Jay. That's where he was like a legislature and everything. You're hating on it, but you haven't been there.
I don't even know what it is. And I don't wake up in the morning and be like, you know what?
All right,
Springfield's the place to go.
Every single place, every single president, has a, I don't know if everyone, I'm pretty sure, more modern or the more famous ones, all have museums that are in their name. Like George W. Bush has one, and H.W. Bush has one down in Texas. Reagan's got one out in California. Clinton's got one in Arkansas. And then Obama's is going to be in Chicago. And Trump's is probably going to be in Florida now.
Yeah, probably
then,
be.
But anyway, so they have all these museums that they come in and they have all their records and stuff in there, and all artifacts and shows and stuff about them. And then you get to go walk through the house where they lived at and everything else. And he's buried there. So, hater on Lincoln.
Well, what a boring thing about presidents. Nobody cares about that. But Illinois is not the best state. Not the best state.
I didn't say they're the best state. I just said that Springfield, Illinois is pretty cool.
Today is National Pretend to Be a Time Traveler Day, which I think is really cool. So if you could pick a time to travel, would you travel forward or backwards, first of all?
I'd go backwards.
Back.
Now, you can't change what happened. But you can travel back in time and be a witness to what time you travel into. Not everybody jump at once.
Go ahead.
I'm probably going back to Now, if I could do it more than once, I'd like to go back to the Civil War era just to see how.
Oh no, you can't go there because you don't want to go see Lincoln.
That's so funny. I knew I'd get a response out of that. So, to see, kind of be a witness to some of the Civil War stuff, I think that'd be kind of cool to do that. But I think most of all, I'd travel back 2,024 years, to when Jesus walked the earth and all that stuff to kind of see how that was. Do you think you would travel forward to see what we're up against?
No.
I don't know, man. I just don't know if I think I would go back to I think I would want to go back to like the 1940s, 1947, like around World War II to see like how because that's whenever Americans had like real pride in everything they did,
Yeah.
and they backed the soldiers, they backed their all that. So I think it'd be pretty cool to go back and see like the war bond sales stuff and different things like that, and then maybe even go. Like if you could go and just be like a random observer and not take the risk of getting shot or whatever, it would be pretty like badass to go see like Patton and the Battle of the Bulge and different things like that, or D-Day, and just see that history being made right there. But I don't know going forward. I mean, I don't know. But if you can't change anything, but if you do go back, I would, we'd all be millionaires because we'd make a killing on like sports betting nowadays.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You can't change it. You can just view what you saw. I figured as much as a Lincoln buff as you are, you'd want to go back and meet Lincoln. You didn't even say that.
Back and meet Lincoln. I didn't say I was a Lincoln buff. I just said that you said that Illinois was a terrible state, and I just said that Springfield was. I'm not a Lincoln buff. I mean, yeah, they do great things for the day. Yeah, he did. But I'm trying not to cuss, Jay.
I'm just saying. I
mean, what? I mean, you said it was. What's your favorite state? What do you think the best state in the union is?
The best state. It's not Indiana, and it's not Kentucky.
No.
I've been to Hawaii. It's pretty. What am I ranking it on?
I mean, where's the place that you would go and stay? Like you can see yourself staying in forever.
Probably Montana. Where there's
Montana?
Well, because there's pretty mountains. It's out there, like get me a ranch out there.
He's been watching Yellowstone.
I could be John Dutton. I could put me a cowboy hat on.
It's only like warm like 3 months a year, 3 months out of the year.
That's fine. It is what it is.
You were just bitching last week that you were cold.
It is cold outside. Well, I've lost a lot of weight. I've lost my fur coat here, so It is a little bit chilly. What state would you go to, Jaden? Florida.
No, not Florida.
I might do Tennessee.
Like to visit or just to like...
No, like you said, you got to live there. You're going there.
You got to live the rest of your days there.
Yep, can't change. I don't know if I do Montana.
Maybe Texas or Oklahoma. I'd go south.
I'd go somewhere I could chase tornadoes. How's that? No.
There you go.
Yeah.
I think I'd go. I'd like we said the other day when we were talking about the Dixie Stampede. I think I would pick Tennessee for one. You don't have income tax.
Yep.
And there's always something to do. The mountains, and
everything's close. It's not that far away from one spot, probably.
It's a skinny state.
It is skinny state. So, and I do like the Gatlinburg Mountains.
Yeah, and then if you stay in that area, you can go watch Kentucky whoop up on Tennessee and everything except for football, and then you can go shoot over to North Carolina and go to Cherokee or whatever over there.
Yeah.
So
Maddie's not on here, but what state would you go to, Maddie? We were literally just talking about it. And you can't think. You should have a state. I would do Hawaii too, because Hawaii's warm. It's pretty. It's nice. It's cool. It's expensive as hell. I'd have to have a really good job.
What about island fever though?
What is it?
Island fever. What if you get like that island fever where you just can't, down in Hawaii, you're only going to drive. You can't only drive so far.
Right.
To where in the continental,
but you can jump islands. Because there's multiple islands, like Kauai's island of waterfalls. Hawaii, the big island's a volcano. Maui's got the beaches. That's even got a black sand beach. Things like that. They got the pipeline. You surf on the pipeline and whatever that is. And I like Florida. Florida's fine, So.
I'm not a fan of Florida.
I'm good just to be there for a couple of days and go home.
Yeah.
Yeah, we lived there for like 5 years. It was miserable. I didn't care for it.
Today's National Brownie Day. You like brownies?
Yes.
Oh, this is a debate in our house.
Oh, I like it.
Oh.
Is it what?
Go ahead, Jay.
No. What is it? What's the debate?
Oh,
We'll settle it.
it's to me, it's not a brownie unless it has nuts in it.
What? It has to have nuts in it?
Oh, it has to have nuts in it. If you're gonna make just a fudge brownie, just take that shit next door. I don't want it. It has to have the nuts in it,
Really?
like almonds. Oh yeah.
No.
You don't like nuts in your brownies?
I'm fine with nuts in the brownies, but I don't think that makes it a brownie.
I don't think I've ever had a brownie that's had nuts inside of it.
That's because everybody in this house has a nut allergy but me.
Probably true.
So,
Oh,
yeah,
well,
we don't
that
have
might be the disqualifier then. But
Well-
I tell Chelsea all the time because she makes brownies sometimes, and it's like it's saying a brownie because they don't have nuts in it.
What's the definition of a brownie?
Something with nuts in it.
Yeah, I
know.
bet it is. Huh?
Let me see. Let me look it up.
The definition
Google
of a brownie.
All right. Well, while y'all are fooling around and doing that, here's another topic on brownies. Are you taking the center brownie, or are you taking the outside edge brownie, like the corner?
I'm taking the middle. I don't know.
oh,
I
I'm
like
taking
the
the
edge
corners.
because you can dip it.
I like the corner.
Well, then
'cause
it's
you
like
got the
kinda-
too crust. You get the too crispy outside.
Yeah,
edge.
and you got. Yeah.
And you seen that tray that's like sometimes it's circular. Now we'll all see it because we're talking about it. But
Oh, well,
have
there
those
you
trays
go.
Where you can have all four corners of it.
Oh, they do. Well, yeah, that's. I mean, that's fine. I mean, because you can hold it up, but the brownie by the dictionary.com, the first one says in folklore, a tiny, fanciful, good-natured brown elf who secretly helps at night with household chores. But number 2, here you go, Zach. This is for you. It settles your debate. A small, chewy, cake-like cookie, usually made with chocolate and containing nuts.
There you go.
So there you go. Right out of definition.com, we've settled the debate. But hey, just jump in with us, folks. If you're listening, 502-709-8778. You can text us. Let us know if brownies have nuts or don't have nuts. I'll do a TikTok after this and ask, and then see if anybody votes on it, but they probably won't. So brownies, nuts or no nuts, obviously if you have a nut allergy, it's going to be what it is. But in the dictionary, brownies have nuts. So what nuts do you like in your brownie? Just peanuts? Walnuts?
No, you use like walnuts,
Almonds?
yeah, and almonds. Yeah, you can use.
Yep.
You can use. Usually, I think tradition is like not peak. I think it's usually walnuts. Like people like ground up walnuts or something. You can buy them in the packages at the store with walnut or nuts in them. I'm assuming they're walnuts.
Well, I guess nuts
But-
is going to be part of our podcast title today.
Brownies and nuts.
Just put nuts.
Popes and
Do you
nuts.
remember? You remember when D's Nuts ran for president, or somebody wrote that there was a
Yes.
population, and I think it was Trump Clinton, and then it was a state that enough people wrote in D's Nuts that it registered, so they had to
They
report
had
it.
to report it. My
Yeah.
gosh. And they had to put that on there, whatever, wasn't it? What a
Yeah,
mess.
they had to show it on the news.
What a complete mess. Do you think they'll catch this guy in New York? You think it's an inside job that's
Oh.
killed this CEO? What do y'all
I
think?
think don't they think that the reason the gun was kind of jamming was because it was a 3D printed gun now?
Oh, I haven't heard that. I don't know.
Yeah, that it was a rim because it was rimfire 22 shells.
Really?
And that it possibly could have been jamming because it's only it's made out of plastic for one. But I thought that might just be a conspiracy theory, but that was something I was reading.
That's interesting.
But
It just makes you wonder because they supposedly somebody said they had a picture of him sitting in the back of a cop car, so they've already had this guy before and they let him out. But
yeah,
I don't know. It's a strange situation up there. Hopefully they do find the guy. It's pretty wild. I don't know. So we'll see what happens with that. Tomorrow, as you listen to this, it's kind of goofy days. I don't know. It's Christmas card day because I guess you got to get them out by then to get them to whoever. Do you send out Christmas cards?
nope.
I don't either. That's an old thing.
I mean, with Facebook and Twitter, the way we have it nowadays, you can wish everybody Merry Christmas or whatever on there.
Lutefisk Day. Does anybody know what Lutefisk is? Lutefisk.
Lupus?
No, Lute. Lutefisk. Lutefisk Day.
No.
It's some kind of cod from Scandinavia, Sweden, Finland. So I don't even know why that's in this particular thing, but that's what it is. It looks terrible, by the way. So
Yeah,
we'll
skip
definitely
that
skip that one. Tomorrow's National Pastry Day. You like pastries in the morning?
Oh, dude, I'm a fat kid. I love pastries.
He tears up some
I
pastries.
second that.
Not afraid
Yeah,
not afraid to drop down on a cheese Danish.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like those.
Well,
I
not
like
necessarily
those.
trees dance, but
And then
I'll-
National
I'll-
Wear Willie Day was a unique character in the art of clowning. So Wear Willie Day. So you got to wear clown
Okay.
stuff tomorrow, which I feel like I do that every day.
She's so
So
crazy.
Yeah.
what is she doing out there? Sharpening a pencil?
Yeah, she's using that pencil sharpener outside on the garage.
Are you sharpening a pencil? Who sharpens a pencil?
I don't think
Do we still sharpen pencils at this stage in our lives?
aren't they all, they're not mechanical now. They're
I
not
guess
all
not. What do
mechanical.
you, I mean, she's coloring some kind of graph that looks like a child or a 2-year-old colored it in. So she's
Is she one of these kids that they know all their homework and stuff on Friday, but they still
That's
fart
that.
around all weekend?
That's that.
and
She
then-
was
yeah.
sleeping up until an hour ago, and then she wakes up and I've got this homework I have to do that'll take me till tomorrow morning. So yep, she's one of those, and then she gets mad when it's not done. And it's like, what do you want from me? I don't know, but now she's literally out there sharpening colored pencils. There's markers and stuff for that thing, I would think.
I just chose not to do my homework. It was easier that way.
Yeah,
I
we
don't
can
think
tell
I ever did
sometimes because
homework.
we have to sit down and go through. I mean, doing Jaden's homework was like creating a budget, right? You had to do so much this day, so much the next day, and then he'd come in here way behind. He'd be negative in the bank, right? Oh, my God, I'm going to fail. What do I do? So we'd sit down at the table. We'd write it all out. Do this today, go beg your teacher for mercy.
That's
On the things.
because I failed. That's because I failed English first semester.
You did do that. You did do that.
Well, I don't know if it's like everybody's teachers do this now or not, but when we was growing up, you went around the classes and you had homework given that day and it was due the next day,
Yep.
But now that it seems like the popular thing to do, at least in elementary school and that where my kids go, is they'll send a homework packet home like on Monday, and it's got all the homework for that whole week,
And not Doodle Friday.
and you bring it back Friday, yeah, but which. I kind of have a love-hate with it, but it's kind of nice because if you have ball practice or something like that, you got ball practice on Tuesday and Thursday. Hey, we need to knock out Tuesday and Thursday on Monday and Wednesday or whatever. So it's convenient on that, but I don't know. I just thought it's kind of weird that they do that now.
Isn't homework just, somewhat dumb?
Yes.
I mean, no, it's just. Do we do it just because they think we should do it? It's
Now
like
this is gonna be a very unpopular opinion, but I've always thought that it's like your kids are in school for 8 hours a day or 7 hours a day, whatever it may be. If they're not getting taught enough in that amount of time, then they probably don't need to learn it.
that's what I think too. It's too much. I love
Yeah,
teachers.
and then-
Appreciate everything you do, but it's too much.
Yeah, and then the teachers are the same ones that gripe and complain that, oh, I had to go home and grade homework for 3 hours. Well, you're the dumbass that assigned all of it.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, why are we even doing that? And on top of what they're doing now, like some of this homework stuff, they're like, well, just turn it in by the end of the year. That's whatever.
Yeah.
Now some teachers are sticklers about it. And that's the other thing
Yeah.
too. It's like, why does each teacher get to pick how they want to do it? It's like, it should just be a way we do it. Learn it in school, do the homework in school, and be done. Because
And and one of the kids' fifth grade teachers was like that. She would say, we're gonna push them hard while they're here for this 8 hours. We're gonna challenge them while they're here for this 8 hours.
perfect.
But when they go home, that's their home time. That's their time to do extracurriculars and stuff. And so she never sent homework home. Like she might said, hey, try, and she would say, try to read 30 minutes a day or whatever it may be. But nothing. This has to be done.
Right. And
So-
and I think too, challenge the crap out of them while they're there. Because just like when a person is a worker at work, they punch a clock, they do their work, they're challenged at work. When they clock out, they go home, and work doesn't call them till the next day, unless you're a salaried leadership person who has to blah 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 blah. But my thing
Right.
is, it's like these kids need to go to school like it's work, do their stuff. When they punch out, they come home, they have family time. That's what they do. But instead, we sit here and do what it is we do here sometimes because it's like, oh, we got to do all this stuff, and do all this stuff, and do all this stuff. I don't understand any of that. I don't get it. I don't like it, but it's whatever. So,
Are we being honest here?
well, I mean, it's just us talking.
Yeah, if it's just us talking,
It's
how
just
many
us talking.
times have you how many times have you gotten like frustrated, or like your kids getting so frustrated, you're like, screw it, and give them the answer?
Oh, all the time. I'm
I
like,
mean, I feel
give
like
it to me. I'll write in your little writing and make it look good. We got to get this done and move on with life. You
yeah,
know,
I mean, yeah, it's like, well,
100%.
like kids that are in high school and middle school. Of course, I don't know nothing what they're doing half the time, but if when they're younger, is like, screw it, dude. The answer's 4 or the answer's 6 or whatever it
Right.
may be.
Yeah. Write this down. This is what it is. Copy this
Yeah, come
picture.
on. Yeah,
We got other
we got
stuff to do.
basketball game or
We got
something,
stuff to
you know.
do. Right. We got other things that's still dealing with this crap.
Kentucky comes
Yeah.
on in 20 minutes. I don't
That's
have
right.
Time
I
to
don't
help
have
you.
time. I don't have time for this algebra roll, man. Put that away. Nobody cares about that. And nobody
Yeah,
cares
nobody
about
cares.
biology because you're not going to be a marine biologist. So it's like nobody cares about that either.
All right.
I think general
they
ed
should-
till 10th grade and then their 11th and 12th, or even in high school 10th, 11th, and 12th ought to be sort of something they want to be when they get older.
Yeah.
Get
I
off
mean,
of that
we're
crap.
lucky. We're lucky here where we have the Prosser School where the kids can go and start learning trades and stuff. Because
Yes.
and they really need to get on. Around here. I think they do a pretty damn good job around here. But
Yeah.
you hear all these people, especially like Mike Rowe talking, and it's like you need to tell these kids that you don't have to go to college to lead a successful life. You can go to these trade schools and kill it.
Yes.
Driving trucks or plumbers or
Yes.
electricians, whatever it may be. You can stop telling these kids that they have to go to college and get in debt for a shit job that they're not going to like anyway.
100%. 100%. You
So,
know, and
give-
and, and
so-
we need trades. People need to know how to turn the lights on. I don't know nothing about electricity. Somebody needs to learn it.
I just know it'll
Yeah.
shock you.
You know, yeah, I know if I put two little wires together, it's going to send me for a ride. I know that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but just like we were in the fire department, not everybody wanted to be firefighters, so it was a trade for us. We went and learned how to do it because somebody has to do it. Somebody has to know
Yeah.
how to unclog the pooper. It has to happen. You
And it's
know,
awesome that like Prosser has that fire class now where they're
yeah,
teaching EMTs and I hope that in the new administration, I hope they make some kind of exception for like truck drivers. If you go to a trade school and I'm not saying put a 18-year-old or a 16-year-old behind the wheel of a semi or a tractor trailer, or even a triaxle, but you got some of these, I mean, it is what it is, but you got some of these foreigners coming in and they get behind the wheel of a truck. They have no freaking clue how to back this thing.
Nope.
They're going down, their wheels are flat. They go in there, they go to these schools for 2-3 weeks, or even if they even go, or if they just get a signature and go. But they need to put some kind of a waiver that, hey, if you go to Prosser and we teach you all the mechanics of taking care of a truck and driving the truck and teach you how to backing in, whatever it may be for that year and a half, 2 years, then here's a waiver. When you turn 18 and you graduate school and you graduate these trade schools, you get a CDL license because you spent 2 years.
yeah.
That's better than sending somebody to
For 3 weeks
school
and
for
giving
2
them a
weeks.
license. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's like a 3-week course. As long as they can pass the test, here you go. But at least these kids,
Right.
it's 2 years in the vocation or the trade school coming out. They've been behind the wheel for 2 years in practice. I mean,
Right.
I bet you they're better drivers than half of them they send through, even if the person's 30 years old to go through a CDL class. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, yeah,
And
absolutely,
yeah.
and they need to do stuff like that because we need those things. We just do.
Yeah.
And I mean,
And
that
stop
Prosser school over there's got that whole aviation thing. They got a whole flight simulator over there now, where you can
Right.
learn how to fly a plane. Somebody has to fly the plane. You know, I think it's great.
Heavy equipment class has an excavator simulator.
Yeah,
You're
that's
literally
cool.
sitting in the cab of an excavator and you just learn the controls.
yeah. And then they were able to go out there and move dirt. You know, they got it right there by the highway. I mean, they got a lot of good stuff going there for some of these folks. And you're right, college isn't always the answer. And, you know, because college is a business. I don't care what anybody says. It's a business. That's how, you know, they make money. You know, that's how their campuses
Right.
look as pretty as they do because they make money. And,
That's
you know,
absolutely right.
that's just where it's at with all that. So, man, I really appreciate you getting on. It's Sunday night. We all got to go back to work tomorrow. We only have about 17 days till Christmas, so it's coming.
I hear you.
The big fat man's going to come down the tree, and he's going to find the jolliest bunch of assholes this side of the nut house.
The nut house.
So we're really and nuts going brownies, right? So
Nuts
it's not
go
a brownie
brownies.
unless it's nuts. Jaden, you got anything else?
No, I'm good.
No. Do you think Kentucky will beat Louisville?
Yes. I think we'll beat them by 20.
Beat them by 20. Who's your
Okay.
MVP of the game?
MVP of the game. If Butler plays, I could see Butler. If not,
But Butler's going to have enough time with that little number 24. What's that kid's name?
I have no idea.
Yeah, he's a little good player.
All I know is he's saving money with his Clark pump and shop app.
Oh, my God. That's so funny, that little rap thing they're doing. My
That's
lands.
goofy.
All right, so, Zach, we appreciate you getting on. We'll do it again.
Hey,
What?
real
Go.
quick, thank you, Vietnam veterans. If Veterans Crisis Line 899, if you need anything, or sorry, 988. If any veteran out there needs anything, welcome home to our Vietnam veterans.
Yes, absolutely. And if you are struggling with mental health, get the help you need. It's a stereotypical thing that people think that because I have mental health, I have a problem. Everybody has it. In the world that we're living in, don't hesitate to reach out, talk to anybody. You can text us 502-798-8778. We will leave it anonymous for you. We'll find you anything that you need. We are here to help you. Sometimes around the holidays, people do get a little bit stressed out from the money, from the shopping, from what they're trying to do for their kids. As a matter of fact, we know somebody that just got laid off. It's like, making a really good money, and all of a sudden they get a phone call at 6 o'clock on Friday afternoon that says, we're sorry, but you're laid off effective immediately, and there's no money, there's no this, there's no that, 2 weeks till Christmas. So those things do hit people. It's stressful. We are living in a really stressful world. So, again, if you need help, we do welcome home our Vietnam veterans and everything that they did. If you see a service member, thank them for their service. Zach, we appreciate your service, and we'll get you on here again. We'll keep rocking. Until next time, this has been Life on Shuffle.